Hello everybody. I'm sure that everyone is fine by the grace of Almighty God. Today we will start our next lecture with the starting of question number 26 of the binomial expansion. And obviously whenever I'm working on the lectures, by improvement of the lectures, we are working with the best examples compared to the previous lectures. By the way, please try to find a place and pick up your notebook with your pen. Whenever I write the questions on the board, please stop the video and then work by your own self. If you couldn't find the answer, then you can see and watch the solution of the questions. Are you ready? We will start our lesson with the name of Almighty God. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The question is, if the free term from x in this expansion is 405, then find k. How you can solve this question? One thing that you know, that n root x minus k divided by x square raised to the power 10, you know the n is 10, you know the x, this is x term, which is root x, you know y, which is minus k divided by x square, but you don't know r. The question is not r. The question is, try to find the value of the k in which the condition is given that it is free term, its free term is 405. By the way, we just know one thing, and that is tr plus 1, which is n cr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Now let that the free term from x occur in which term? In tr plus 1. Let the constant term, what do I mean by constant term? The free of x term, free of x term occur in where? In tr plus 1. So we have tr plus 1, n is 10, c r is not given, x is root x raised to the power n minus r, 10 minus r, times y is minus k divided by x square raised to the power r. In here we have tr plus 1 is given, this one means 10 by r, times this one we can write x to the power 1 divided by 2. Yes, we can. 1 divided by 2 raised to the power 10 minus r, times, now this r belongs to this numerator and also to the denominator. I mean, we can write minus k raised to the power r, and x square means x to the power minus 2 raised to the power r. Am I right? Yes. Then we can write tr plus 1 is 10 by r, x to the power, this 1 divided by 2 is multiplied with this power, so we have 5 minus r divided by 2, times this one is also x to the power minus 2r, times minus k raised to the power r. In here the basis of the x are same, so we can write tr plus 1 is 10 by r, from the x you can take 1 and the powers are added, 5 minus r divided by 2 plus minus 2r, times minus k raised to the power r. In here we have 10 by r times this one x minus r divided by 2 and minus 2r, it is minus 5 divided by 2r, 5 minus 5 divided by 2r, times minus k raised to the power r. This is the term that which we want. Now your term is constant term. It means it is free of x. It means the power of the x should be 0. With this equation you are able to find the r. So I mean 5 minus 5 divided by r equal to 0. Now you can solve this one for r. Minus 5 divided by r, minus 5 divided by 2r is given minus 5. Minus with minus, it's cancelled. 5 is with 5 is cancelled. R is 2. Now in here t, instead of r, 2 plus 1 is 3. It is the third term. If you expand this one, there is no x. It is independent of the x or free of the x. So we can write 10 instead of r, 2 times in here. If you put in here or here, if you put r2, it's 0. So x to the power 0 is 1, and times minus k raised to the power 2. Now this is the what? This is the constant term or free of the x term, and it's given 405. And instead of this one, you can write 405. Now you can solve this one. It's 10 factorial. 10 minus 2, 8 factorial times 2 factorial. Minus raised to the power even number, it's plus. K raised to the power 2, it's k square. Now 405 is given. 10 factorial means 10, 9, 8 factorial, 8 factorial, and 2 factorial means 2 times k square. 8 factorial with this 8 factorial, it's cancelled. Am I right? Yes. And 2 with this one, it's 5. 5 times 9, it is 45 k square. 45 k square. And this is 405. Divide both sides by 45. So k square, 405 divided by 45, it's 9. And now take the root of both sides. So you will find k root 9, it's plus minus or plus negative 3. Write it please. Question number 27. Find the coefficient of x in the expansion of this one. It's a simple question. Now how you can solve? First, one thing that you know, this is 1 minus 3x plus 7x square, our first bracket. If you expand this one, now what is the expansion for this one? I think the expansion for this one, it is nc0. N is 16, c0. 1 raised to the power 16. 1 raised to every power, it's 1. Plus the next term is 16 c1. You have to decrease 1 from the power of 1, but 1 to every power, it's 1. And increase the next term. The next term is minus x raised to the power 1. The next one, it is 16 c2 minus x raised to the power 2. The next one, 16 c3 minus x raised to the power 3. Up to the end one, 16 c16 minus x raised to the power 16. Is it correct? Yes. Now the first bracket is 1 minus 3x plus 7x square. The next bracket, 16 combination with 0. 16 by 0, it's 1. Plus, and 16 by 1, it is 16. Minus raised to the power, it's minus. And minus raised to the even odd number, it's minus. Minus with this one, it's minus x. Plus, minus raised to the power, it's plus. Plus with this plus, it's plus. And 16 by 2, it's a number. 16 by 2, it's a number. Am I right or not? Whatever is that one, there is a number times with x square plus dot 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 up to n. And the last term is 16 by 16 is 1, minus raised to the power even number is plus, x raised to the power 16, it's x to the power 16. Now, the question is, what is the coefficient of the x? In which bracket? In the first, in the second, or in the result of both of them? In the result of both of them. So you have to multiply this one along with 16 or 17 terms of the second bracket. But if you multiply this one with the 17 terms of the next bracket, it would be much difficult. But the question is, just try to find x to the power 1. Now, where can you find x to the power 1? If I multiply 1 with this one, there is no x to the power 1. But if I multiply 1 with the x to the power 1, so you will find x to the power 1. So the first term is 1 times minus 16. And here we have x to the power 1. If I multiply 1 with the x square, there is no x to the power 1. So do not multiply 1 with the remaining terms. Come to the next one, the second term. If you multiply this minus 3x with this one, you will have the result x to the power 1. So plus minus 3 should be multiplied with the 1. And if you multiply minus 3x with this minus 16x, the result is x squared, which we do not need. Now come to 7x squared. If I multiply 7x squared with this one, the result is x squared. If I multiply x squared with this one, we will have the result x to the power 3 that we do not need. Just we have to find x to the power 1. X to the power 1, the first one with the second one, and the second one with the first one. In here we have x to the power 1. The next multiplication or the remaining multiplication, there is no x to the power 1. So 1 times minus 16x, it's minus 16, and plus with this minus 3 times 1, it's 3, and the result minus 16 with minus 3, I think it's minus 19. Write it. Question number 28. Find the coefficient of 1 divided by x to the power 17 in this expansion. It's a simple question. First, in x to the power 4 minus 1 divided by x cubed raised to the power 15. It is same with the x to the power 4 minus x to the power minus 3 raised to the power 15. Yes. Now in here the terms which you know is, first you know n is 15, you know x is x to the power 4, you know y is minus x raised to the power minus 3, and you don't know r. And we know one formula, that is t r plus 1, which is n c r x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Let that 1 divided by x to the power 17, or we can write x to the power minus 17. This one occur in tr plus 1. So we will have tr plus 1 is equal, and instead of n you have what? 15 c, and instead of r you don't know, and instead of x you have x to the power 4, n minus r, 15 minus r, times, and instead of y, minus x to the power minus 3 raised to the power r. Now in here, if you simplify, tr plus 1, 15 cr times this 4 is multiplied with this power. So you will have 4 times 15, 60, minus 4 times r, it's 4r, times this r belongs to this minus and also to x to the power minus 3. I mean minus, it's minus 1 raised to the power r, and x to the power minus 3 raised to the power r. Am I right? Yes. If you simplify, tr plus 1 is, it is 15 by r. Now this, it is minus 1 raised to the power r. This x with this x, the bases are same. You will have 60 minus 4r this minus 3 with r, it is minus 3r. The powers are, I think, it is added. So you will have tr plus 1 is 15 by r minus 1 raised to the power r x to the power 60 minus 4r with 3r, it is minus 7r. Now your tr plus 1 is x to the power minus 17, and this one with this one, they are the coefficient. So x to the power 60 minus 7r should be equal x to the power minus 17 to this one, which is the question, and you have to find the coefficient. So the bases are same, the powers must be same. 60 minus 7r equal to minus 17. Put 60 to the right side, you will have what? Minus 7r. This 60 minus 17, you will have minus 7r, which is minus 77, and divide both sides by r, you will have r 11. So put t instead of r 11, 11 plus 1, it's 12. That is 12th term, which the variable is 1 divided by x to the power 17, and the coefficient is here 15 instead of r 11 times minus 1 raised to the power 11. Now you will have t12, which is x to the power minus 17. Now this one 15 factorial, 15 minus 11 4 factorial times 11 factorial minus raised to the power even odd number is minus 1 raised to the every power, it's 1. So you will have t12 15, it is 14, next 13, 12 and 11 divided by 4 factorial, 4 3 2 1 times 11 factorial times minus 1. This is cancelled. This one with this one we can cancel, and 2 with this one we have 7. Now the remaining is the answer, which is 15 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 13 and multiplied by minus 1. If you multiply all these terms, you will find inshallah minus 1365. T12 minus 1365, and the variable is 1 divided by x to the power 17 or x to the power minus 17. Write down. Question 29. Find the sixth term in this expansion if the third term from the end coefficient is 45. I'm sure that you can solve this question. Why? Because in previous lecture I solved such questions when the terms from the end is given or terms from the beginning or starting is given. If you want to talk about this binomial expansion, the question is y raised to the power 1 divided by 2 plus x raised to the power 1 divided by 3 raised to the power n, and here the sixth term, it is the question. Hint, what hint is given? The hint is third term from the end is given. Now, when we want to talk about the third term from the end, we don't have any formula from the end, but we have the formula from the beginning. So I mentioned in the previous lecture, if a term from the end is given, then replace a and b terms. I mean x raised to the power 1 divided by 3 plus y raised to the power 1 divided by 2 raised to the power whole raised to the power n. Now try to talk about the third term from the beginning. That is the third term from the and for this binomial expansion. I'm sure that you have got. In here, what do we have? We have n is not given. We have x is x to the power 1 divided by 3. We have y is y raised to the power 2. And the third term, what is r? R, you know, from the tr plus 1. Tr plus 1, it is third term, t3. I mean r plus 1 is 3, so r is 2. R is given. Just we don't know n. So what is tr plus 1? Whenever you want to talk about tr plus 1, it is n cr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. Tr plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, t3. N is not given. We don't know n. R is 2. X is, in here, x is x to the power 1 divided by 3 raised to the power n minus r is 2. And y is y raised to the power 1 divided by 2, r is 2. Am I right? Now t3 coefficient is given 45. T3 is 45. In here, what is the coefficient? It is the third term. We don't have any number here. We don't have any number here. The coefficient of this one is n by 2. So it's a simple equation. And you can solve. It is n factorial, n minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial is 45. N is n minus 1, n minus 2 factorial divided by n minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial is 2 equal to 45. This is cancelled. We have n square minus n, and 2 times 45, it's 90. So it's a quadratic equation. N minus 90 is given 0. 90, the factors are 10 and 9. And it says that the greater is minus, the smaller is plus. So you have two brackets, n minus 2, n minus 10, n plus 9 equal to 0. Multiplication of two brackets are 0 when it's 0. If at least one of them is 0, I mean n minus 10 should be 0. It's n is 10, or n plus 9 is 0. So it is n is minus 9. This is not correct. Why? Because we are working for n should be a positive integer number. So n is 10. Now the question is y raised to the power 1 divided by 2 plus x raised to the power 1 divided by 3 raised to the power n. N is 10. Now it's a simple question. You have to find the sixth term. Now in here n is 10, x is y raised to the power 1 divided by 2. This is y is x to the power 1 divided by 3. You don't know r, but you know tr plus 1, it is t sixth term. So in here you will find r is 5, then r is 5, and you know the formula, tr plus 1, it is n cr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. A simple question. T, and instead of r, 5 plus 1 is 6, and instead of n, 10, and instead of r you have 5, and instead of x you have y raised to the power 1 divided by 2, and instead of n you have 10, and instead of this one 5, 10 minus 5 is 5, times, and instead of y you have x raised to the power 1 divided by 3, and instead of r you have 5. Am I right? Yes. Then T6 is 10 by 5. It's 10 factorial. 10 minus 5. 5 factorial times 5 factorial. And you have here 5 divided by 2. And x 5 divided by 3. You will find 10, 9. We have what? 8, 7, 6 and 5 factorial. In here 5 factorial, this one is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we have 1 y raised to the power 5 divided by 2 times x raised to the power 5 divided by 3. 5 factorial with this 5 factorial is cancelled. And we have 2 times 3, it's 6, 6 with this 6, 4, we have 2, and you have 5 with this one, it's 2. And 2 times 2, it's 4, 4 times 7, 4 times 7, it's 28, 28 times 9, 28 times 9, I think 252, y raised to the power 5 divided by 2, and x raised to the power 5 divided by 3. This is your sixth term. Write it, please. Question number 30. Find the value of r if the coefficients of this term with this one in this expansion are equal. Right? How you can solve? It's a little tricky question. Please pause the video and go on to find the solution. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you found? Not find. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes or no? Okay, listen. How you can find? First, whenever you're talking about 1 plus x raised to the power 18, now what's the expansion for this one? It is nc0, 1 raised to the power 18, it's 1, nc1, x to the power 1, nc2, x to the power 2, like this one. Now the coefficient of x square is nc2, the coefficient of x to the power is nc1, n means 18, n means 18, and this one is 18. If we want to talk about the coefficient of x cube, it is 18, say is c3. If we want to talk about a coefficient of x to the power 10, it is 18c10. Am I right? Yes. Now you have to find the r in which the condition is 2r plus fourth term with r minus second r minus 2 term. The coefficients should be equal. One thing that you know in here, the question is t 2r plus 4 term is equal with the t r minus 2 term. This coefficient with this term, the coefficients are equal. But we know just the formula of tr plus 1. We don't know anything else. And here it's not r plus 1. It is 2r plus 4. So we have to convert this one like this one. I mean, can you write or the formula for this one? Yes, it is. The formula for this one is n cr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. But if we want to talk about 2r plus 4, this one should be converted to this one. I mean t, instead of 2r plus 4, can I write 2r plus 3 plus 1? Yes, 3 with 1, it's 4, and 2r is 2r. This is like r, so it converted, or it looks like tr plus 1. So what's the formula for this one? The formula for this one is ncr x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. But you are talking about the coefficients. In this, the coefficient in this expansion, there is no y, and the x do not put any situation on the coefficient. For this result, we can delete this part. The coefficient is ncr but r is 2r plus 3, so it is 2r plus 3. N is 18. So the coefficient for 2r plus 4 is 18c 2r plus 3, or you can write 18 by 2r plus 3. Have you got? Now look to the next term, t r minus 2 term. You have to convert this one like this one, that you are able to apply this formula. So can I write t instead of r minus 2, r minus 3 plus 1? Yes, minus 3 with 1, it is minus 2. This is called r. Now what's the formula? N C R. N is 18. R is r minus 3. And there is nothing with this x and this y. There is no change. Why? The coefficient is 18c1. The coefficient is 18c2. Coefficient is 18c3. Coefficient is 18c r minus 3. So it is, we can write this one like 18 r minus 3. Have you got? Listen. This coefficient with this coefficient are equal. Yes. But we know this formula. NCR x to the power n minus r y raised to the power r. This is not the formula for the coefficient. It's the formula for general term. In here your x is 1. Your y is x. Then we can delete this one. The coefficient is NCR. But the formula should be r plus 1. So 2r plus 4, we can write 2r plus 3 plus 1. This is r plus 1. So n is 18, c, r instead 2r plus 3, or we can write like this one. In here tr minus 2 term, we can write tr minus 3 plus 1. Why? This is r plus 1. So 18 c instead of r we can write r minus 3, or this one. Now the question is, these terms are equal. I mean that this one 18 by 2r plus 3, it is equal with this term 18 r minus 3. This is an equation for the combination. Now 18 and 18 are same, n are same, so this one with this one should be same. 2r plus 3 should be equal r minus 3. Now solve this one for r. Put r to the left side, it's 2r minus r, and minus 3 plus 3 to the right side, minus 3. 2r minus r, it is r, and minus 3 minus 3, it's minus 6, which is not possible. Why? Because if you put minus 6 here, 2 minus 6 is minus 12. Minus 12 with this one, it's minus 9. 18 by minus 9, it is not correct. Why? In combination, n and r term should be positive integer, not negative. Now, what do you think? One thing you have to know, that 15 by 2 is equal to 15. 15 minus 2, I mean 30. They are equal. If we want to talk about 15, or for example 19 by 12, it's equal with 19 minus this one, 19 minus 12, it's 7. If you solve this one and if you solve this one, they are equal. So we can say if this one 12 r term with this r term are added and they are equal to the n, so the combination for both are same. I mean n by r is equal by n minus r. Now if you add these two, n minus r plus r, it should be what? It should be n. I mean this minus r is cancelled, n is equal to n. So you can use this formula. Which formula? That this term with this term, if you add them, and it should be equal to the n. In here, 12 with 7, it's 19. So the 19 by 12 and 19 by 7 is same. In here, 2 with 13 is 15. I mean 15 by 2 and 15 by 13, they are equal. So in here, we can find another formula, which is what? If you add 2r plus 3 plus this one, r minus 3, if they are 18, so the combination of these two are equal. So you can solve this one. 2r plus 3 plus r minus 3, it's 18. 2r with r, it's 3r. 3 with 3 is cancelled, is equal to 18. So divide both sides by 3, r is 6. Write it, please. Question number 31. If the coefficient of second term, third and fourth terms in this expansion are in arithmetic progression, show that 2n squared minus 9n plus 7 is 0. By the way, if we want to talk about 1 plus x raised to the power 2n, what's the expansion? It is 2n c0, 2n c1 x to the power 1, 2n c2 x to the power 2, 2n c3 x to the power 3. Am I right? Unlike this one. Now the coefficient of second term, this is second term, this one is third, and this one is fourth. Am I right? What's the coefficient of the second term? It is 2n c1, comma. Coefficient of the third term, it is 2n c2. And the next one, fourth one, is 2n c3. Now the question is, if these coefficients are NEP, I mean arithmetic progression. Now, if this one is NEP, if this one is NEP or arithmetic progression, what is the condition for arithmetic progression? The minus of every pair terms should be equal. I mean 2n c2 minus 2n c1 should be equal to 2n c3 minus 2n c2. Am I right? You have to minus these two terms, or subtraction of the consecutive pair terms. The subtraction of this one and the subtraction of this one, they should be same. Now this is your equation. If you solve this equation, you will find, inshallah, this equation is 0. What do I mean? In here, how we can write? If I put this minus there and this minus here, we will have 2n c2, this minus, plus 2n c2, and this is 2n c3, and this one plus 2n c1. Now what does it mean? It means 2n by 2 plus, how many terms do we have? 2 terms. 2n by 2 plus 2n by 2. 2n by 2, 2n by 2 is equal to, this one is 2n by 3 plus 2n by 1. Now, how many terms? 2 terms of 2n by 2. And what's the solution for the 2n by 2? It is 2n factorial, 2n minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial is equal. We have 2 terms, 2, and this one is 2n factorial divided by 2n minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial. What's the solution for this one? It is 2n factorial, 2n minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial plus 2n by 1, it's 2n. 2n by 1, it's 2n. Now what we have to do? We have to this 2 with this 2 factorial is cancelled. 2 factorial means 2, and we have 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2 factorial divided by 2n minus 2 factorial is equal this one, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 3 factorial divided by 2n minus 3 factorial, and 3 factorial means 6 plus 2n. This is cancelled, and here it's cancelled. If you divide all side by 2n, you will have this 2n is cancelled. We have 2n minus 1 is equal, am I right? We have 2n minus 1, this is cancelled, 2n minus 1 times 2n minus 2 and plus 2n divided by 2n, it's 1. Now 2n minus 1, you have to multiply these two brackets. 2n is 4n square minus 4n minus 2n plus 2 plus 1. Now put all sides the right terms. You will have 4n square minus 4 with this one minus 6n plus 1 with 2 is 3. This one minus 2n and minus plus 1. Am I right? Yes? Yeah, maybe. So equal to 0. Now 4n square, this one is minus 8n plus 4 is equal to 0. No. This is cancelled. 2n minus 1, 2n is minus 2, it's cancelled. And in here 2n minus 1, 2n is minus 2, 2n is minus 3, it's cancelled. 6, this is 6. We have the 6. We have the 6. Let me if you divide both sides by 2n, you will have in here 2n is cancelled. We have 2n minus 1 is equal, this 2n is cancelled. We have 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2 divided by 6 plus, and this 2n divided by 2n, it's 1. Now we have 2n minus 1, and this is 4n square minus 4n minus 2n plus 2 divided by 6 plus 1. If you multiply all sides by 6, you will have 12n minus 6, and in here 4n square minus 6n plus 2 plus 6. Am I right? Yes. Now you will have 4n square minus 6n plus 2 with 6, it's 8. Put this one to the right side, minus 12n, 12n minus 6 equal to 0. You will have 4n square minus 12 with this one, it is minus 18n, and plus 8 with this one, it's plus what? Minus 6 put to the right side is plus 6. 8 with 6, it is 40, equal to 0. Now divide all sides by 2. You will have 2n square minus 9n plus 7 equal to 0. So it is proved. Write it, please. Our last question for this lecture. Find the coefficient of x to the power 4 in this binomial expansion. First, it doesn't look like a binomial. Why? Because if we want to talk about a term which whatever is given, the binomial should be x plus y raised to the power n. N is correct, but in here we have to convert this one like x plus y. So the difficulty is 1 plus x square plus x cube. It has given 4th term, but we have to convert this one to the how many terms? To 2 terms. So you have to factorize this one. I mean, in this section we have 1 plus x, and in here the factor is x squared, which is 1 plus x squared divided by this one, it's 1, x cubed divided by this one, it's 1. Now in here the brackets are same, so you can have one of them, and the next one is 1 plus x squared. I mean, now you can write this one 1 plus x squared plus x cubed raised to the power 11. Instead of this one, you can write 1 plus x times 1 plus x squared whole raised to the power 11. Now this 11 belongs to the first bracket and also to the second bracket. I mean 1 plus x raised to the power 11, 1 plus x squared raised to the power 11. Now if you are able to find the result of this multiplication, so you would be able to find the x to the power 4 coefficient. Now if we want to talk about the first one, what is the expansion for this one? It is 11c0 11c1 plus 11c2 11c1 x to the power 1, 11c2 x to the power 2, 11c3 x to the power 3, am I right? And 11c4 x to the power 4 plus ... The next one, if we want to talk about this one, so it would be 11c1 and c0 plus 11c1 x to the power 2 raised to the power 1. This term raised to the power 1. The next one is 11c2 x squared raised to the power 2 plus ... Am I right? Now 11c0, it is 1 plus this one is 11x plus, if we want to solve 11 by 2, 11 factorial, 11 minus 2, 9 factorial times 2 factorial, you will have 11, 10, 9 factorial, 9 factorial, 2 factorial is 2, this is cancelled, 2, 5 is 55, x squared plus 11 by 3, 11 factorial, 8 factorial times 3 factorial, you will have 11, 10, 9, 8 factorial, and 3 factorial means 6. This is cancelled, am I right? Now you have 2 times 3, with this one is 3, 2 with this one is 5, 5, 3 is 15, 15 times 11, it's 165, x to the power 3, plus the next one is 11 by 4, 11 factorial, 11 minus 4, it is 7 factorial times 4 factorial, you will have 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7 factorial, 7 factorial, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sure you know. This is cancelled. 2 times 3, 2 times 4, it's 8, 8 is cancelled, 3, this is 3, 3 times this one, it's 33 times this one, 330, x to the power 4, ... 11 by 0, it is 1, 11 by 1 is 11, x squared, 11 by 2, it is 55, x to the power 4 plus ... Now, what the question is, x to the power 4, the multiplication of these two brackets, when it gives the result of x to the power 4, when it gives, the question is the coefficient of x to the power 4. If I multiply 1 with the 1, there is no x. If I multiply 1 with x squared, there is no x to the power 4, but with this one we have. So the first one is 1 times 55 plus the next one. The remaining terms, it's x to the power 5 that we do not need. If we multiply x with which power, it gives x to the power 4 with x to the power 3, but there is no x to the power 3. It's x squared, x to the power 4, x to the power maybe 6. I mean the even numbers. So it doesn't give any x to the power 4, but this x squared gives with this one x to the power 4. So 55 should be multiplied with 11 plus x to the power 3, there is no x to the power 1. X to the power 4 with this one, I mean 330 times 1. The next term after this one is x to the power 5, which doesn't give any x to the power 4. So this is your solution. 1 times this one, it is 55, plus 55 with this one, it is 5, 10, 6. So we have 330. Now this one with this one, it is 660 plus 330. Am I right? Yes. Now this one 0, 9, 9. The coefficient of x to the power 4 in the expansion of this expression, it is 990, inshallah. By the way, it's sufficient for today. Inshallah, the next lecture we will have our best examples with optional questions. Allah Hafiz.